Great cities attract ambitious people. You can sense it when you walk around one. In 100 subtle ways, the city sends you a message. You could do more. You should try harder. Paris is a perfect example of a great city sought after by ambitious people.
Paris has many nicknames, but its most famous is the City of Light. Paris's reputation as the City of Lights is accredited to its position as the intellectual center during the Age of Enlightenment. Paris was the birthplace of the Age of Enlightenment, and it was famous as a center of education and ideas throughout Europe.
Paris's contributions to Western culture have been formidable for centuries, evident through numerous mediums: architecture, cuisine, decorative arts, diplomacy, drama, fashion, language, literature, music, painting, politics, and sculpture. In many ways, Paris defines to the world what it means to be French.
Paris has always been a city for intellectuals, for new ideas. During the later half of the 18th century, Paris became the intellectual and cultural capital of the Western world. Its many philosophies made it the main center of the Enlightenment, with its salons becoming the center of the new thinking of the Age of Reason. In the fashionable homes of Paris, people from the most esteemed parts of society came together for evenings of debate and conversation.
Enlightened thinkers, aristocrats, wealthy members of the newly rich middle class, high-ranking military officers, and exotic foreigners mingled together on equal footing. This was positively encouraged by the state, with King Louis's mistress, Madame de Pompadour, supporting the city's intellectuals and prompting the king to construct striking new monuments.
The idea of intellect and knowledge can be portrayed in the monument The Thinker. The Thinker is a bronze sculpture on marble pedestal by Auguste Rodin, whose first cast of 1902 is now in the Museum Rodin in Paris. It depicts a man in sober meditation battling with a powerful internal struggle. It is often used to represent philosophy.
Another contribution that Paris has made to the world is having an impact on fine arts and couture. We see that in one of the most famous surrealist artists in the world, Salvador Dali. Following André Breton's invitation to join the surrealist movement in 1929, Salvador Dali quickly established himself as a leading surrealist artist. He spent a great deal of his time in Paris over the ensuing decade, where he established friendships with wealthy Parisian patrons and artists. The beginning of Salvador Dali's surrealist period marked a growing confidence in his own style, the establishment of the representation of hard and soft, which formed the foundation of his authentic and creation of motifs and symbols. An example of one of his works is a painting of a woman called Dali in Love. Dali first encountered a woman named Gala, a charismatic Russian immigrant who had already captivated and inspired many of the surrealists, and who was to become his lifelong partner until her death in 1982. She had a decisive influence on Dali's future career, which she guided to international success as she took on diverse and multiple roles in their lives.
When one thinks of the fashion capital of the world, Paris comes to mind thanks to Charles Frederick Worth, the father of couture. Charles Worth, the designer who dominated Parisian fashion in the later half of the 19th century. As a young man, Worth worked as an apprentice. He then relocated to Paris in 1845. Despite early struggles, he found work with Ganglion, a prominent firm that sold textile goods. Worth's rise as a designer coincided with the establishment of the Second Empire in France, the restoration of the royal house in 1852 with Napoleon III. While the designer still created one-of-a-kind pieces for his most important clients, he is still especially known for preparing a variety of designs that were shown on live models at the House of Worth. Clients made their selections and had garments tailor-made in Worth's workshop.
Among the key designers who made a bold and lasting impression on women's fashion in the 20th century, Gabriella Coco Chanel deserves special recognition. Born in Saumur in the Loire Valley of France, Chanel survived an impoverished childhood. The difficulties of her early life inspired her to pursue a radically different lifestyle. Chanel opened her first shop in Paris in 1913, selling hats and a limited line of garments. Chanel shops developed a dedicated clientele who quickly made her practical sportswear a great success. Much of Chanel's clothing was made of jersey, a choice of fabric both unusual and inspired. Chanel was known for her lifelong determination, ambition, and energy, which she applied to her professional and social life. She achieved both success as a businesswoman and social prominence, thanks to the connections she made through her work. Chanel took great pride as a woman in designing for other women, and by 1919, at the age of 32, she enjoyed huge success with clients around the world. Soon after, she relocated her couture house to Paris, 31 Rue Cambon, which remains the center of operations for the House of Chanel. Chanel's own lifestyle fueled her ideas of how modern women everywhere should look, act, and dress. She was the only fashion designer to appear on Time magazine's list of the 100 most influential people of the 20th century.
To better understand why Paris is a capital of fashion, one must recognize the Golden Triangle. The Golden Triangle is a shopping district in Paris dedicated exclusively to high fashion clothes and accessories. The triangle lives between the Avenue Marquet, the Champs-Élysées, and the Avenue Montaigu. In it you will find the homes of Vuitton, Givenchy, Rockus, Dior, Celine, Chanel, Donna Karan, and Hermes, just to name a few. The French have a fashionable expression, Lécher vitrine, which translates to window licking, and that is exactly what you will be doing in this glamorous shopping district.